welcome back to Geospatial. I'm Simmons here at the 2026 GeoINT Symposium in Denver, Colorado. In this segment, I have the pleasure of talking to GeoSolutions. We know GeoSolutions from previous events, Fed Geo Day, Phosphor G, all kinds of different other venues. And this year, we're come to talk to them about what the latest and greatest is. So first of all, before we get into it, I want to briefly introduce or reintroduce. We got Simone, the president of GeoSolutions group, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually the president of GeoSolutions USA and one of the founders of GeoSolutions Group. That's it. Let's hear from Ryan.
And Ryan.
I'm Ryan Burley with GeoSolutions USA. I'm the Director of Business Development and Sales.
Sweet. Now, getting into the company specifically, can you tell us a little bit about what your company does? Remind our audience.
Yeah, it's not going to be super easy. Let's try. We are basically a software house, and we develop a number of open source products for the geospatial world. Let's say the most famous one is the one I usually use as an introduction is GeoServer, which has been around for a while. We are probably the main developers right now, but we develop also other solutions like MapStore and GeoNode, which are used across the geospatial world, across the world, in the US, everywhere, in multiple fields, Earth observation, precision farming, smart cities, everything.
Nice. Now you've had a couple updates recently in the last several months. Specifically, talk to us about the latest and greatest with GeoServer.
Well, right now we are in the middle of the transition from GeoServer 2 to GeoServer 3. This has been like a huge thing for us. We did a crowdfunding campaign. I mean, GeoServer 2 has been around for more than 10 years, so this was a huge jump. We did this crowdfunding campaign with other companies that are supporting GeoServer. We put together around 600,000 euros, let's say around $700,000 to build a GeoServer 3, and we are right now in the release candidate phase, so GeoServer 3 should be out shortly. And this is actually a pretty big jump because we rewrote the core, we rewrote the image processing engine. We touched a little bit the GUI, but not too much. But we do some work with some more work with the next releases, and we did a huge amount of work in ensuring that the entire supply chain, not only the GeoServer, is actually up to date in order to start fresh. Because as everybody knows now, AI is doing a lot of good things, but it's putting a lot of pressure on vulnerabilities and weaknesses, etc. So this work was actually crucial in order to start fresh and make sure that we can have a clean supply chain, because GeoServer is a big project. It's using a lot of libraries, so it was pretty, let's say, difficult to keep track of all the vulnerabilities, etc. So this was a huge part of this work.
And how's the reception been leading up to the release?
And there has been a lot of discussions because, I mean, the user base is pretty opinionated, as you can imagine. So there was a lot of discussion from people who wanted a completely new UI, or they want this, I want that. So we had to have some strong meetings between the steering committee in order to decide what to do and where to push the money. The money we had, we went a little bit beyond the budget we had, so we invested the various companies a little bit. But I'm pretty happy about, let's say, the overall effort, because putting together multiple companies when there are money to do something like this is always challenging.
Excellent. Okay. Excellent. So in terms of messaging here, because you have there's a lot of different companies here. Obviously, your company's built off the open source ecosystem. So tell us, for our audience, tell us why your technology should be taken advantage of or used, and over a lot of these other vendors out here.
Well, I mean, not many people know that, but we started using GeoServer when I was working for NATO back then, so in a military environment. And I think that the story is still the same. We started to use GeoServer because we needed something that we could actually customize. It was focusing on interoperability, and it was focusing on openness, which is not, I mean, being naive. Openness and interoperability and modularity gives you the ability to actually focus on the use case that you are trying to solve rather than on bending the technologies for the use case. Okay, and that, I believe, is still the message nowadays.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I chime in?
Go for it.
Yeah. So the challenge these days, it's not about data. There's plenty of data. We're not short on data. The challenge is getting that data to operationally use that data with interoperability and connecting systems, connecting the data, and making it actionable. And that's what GeoServer 3 will do.
Okay. So in terms of the floor here, have either of you got a chance to walk the floor a little bit?
Not too much, to be honest, just a little bit.
Okay. Either way, I'm sure you're seeing some really interesting things. What is your oh wow moments or things that you think is fascinating here at the Symposium this year?
Well, I mean, right now, like, I will be, let's say, not particularly smart or innovative, but AI for me, it's still the most interesting thing. I'm still a little bit, let's say, reluctant between the impact it will have because it keeps changing, etc., etc. I'm still trying to understand the real impact and the extension, right? So separating the hype from, the real impact. But that's what I was actually looking around and trying to understand what the others are doing and how they're using it and what are the implications, for example, for what we do, because we get a lot of requests on how to, better integrate with LLMs, with GeoAI, etc.
Excellent.
Integration with things like Cloud, Cowork, etc., in order to automate. So that is what we're looking at as well.
Awesome. How about yourself?
A lot of cool things, a lot of cool tech. I saw someone with a hologram over there. But as it applies to us, I mean, there are a lot of use cases we come across, such as maritime surveillance. There's a maritime surveillance working group. We do a lot of work in maritime surveillance with EMSA in Europe, and anything with moving points or connecting databases, the whole interoperability thing. So any data, new data coming off of new sensors, there's a lot of that here, and that's where we excel.
Great. Well, as we wrap up, one last question for you, sir. Anything that you would like to tell our audience about GeoSolutions that you feel like everybody sort of misses?
That's a very difficult question that I wasn't prepared. Well, it's something that we have seen. A lot of people come to us and they say, oh, you're the guys being GeoServer. Hey, thank you, because we're using it, it works great, etc., etc. So for us, it's important actually to get out the message because, I mean, open source is not something that there is no professional support. Actually, there is a lot of strong, let's say, options. We are not the only one. But I mean, you should come to us if you have any needs. But that's the message. I mean, there is strong companies that are growing and they provide professional services for open source. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And I would say it's not just GeoServer, it's not just us, the products we support, but it's the entire open source community. So there's a thriving open source community that's gaining momentum, and we're connected with the entire community. So whether it's Python development, geospatial develament, QGIS, all those products, we have events throughout the year. There's Fed Geo Day, which just happened 2 weeks ago. There is Phosphor-G North America coming up in Sacramento, which will be in the fall. And OSGeo US is also gaining momentum as well, so you can stay tuned for content through Project Geospatial and OSGeo US to learn more.
Sweet. Well, thank you for your time.
Welcome.
And getting a nice update on GeoSolutions. And, well, once again, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank you.
All right, I'm Adam Simmons of Project Geospatial. We will talk to you next time.